everybody knows happy wife, happy life, right? So if you have a home, who rules that home? The woman or the man? If you ask me, my opinion, the woman does. Now,
back up, back up, back up, back up. Back up, back up, back up, back up.
I'm gonna tell you why it's overdue that women run this world that we live in, and why they should, and why it's actually a way better idea than men ruling it. Okay? In particular, a woman of color should run the country or the world, whatever you want to call it, the universe, whatever. Okay? History has shown that men, for one, were way too barbaric. We think not with our minds, but with our, you know what I mean? So that within itself is a conflict of interest. I mean, even if you just do your research in history, man, it shows. It shows. The sexists, just, men are just, we are weird individuals, man. We are. And I know previously I made a video saying why women should be housewives. And yes, for some women, for a lot of women, that works. And it's not a bad idea for a woman to be a housewife. It's actually a great idea. But for a woman that loves her occupation, maybe she wants to be a doctor or a lawyer or a veterinarian or a dentist or, you know, something of passion that she loves to do, then that's not gonna fit into her lifestyle. You know, so I think it's better that women rule this country, or the next president should be a woman, or whatever, the next dictator, it doesn't matter. Now, what's men's role in all of this, you might wonder? Why not a man? Well, for one, is the same things I just mentioned, history, but two, is men are better served as soldiers or warriors or an aid to, or to enforce rule or to enforce law of that woman, right? So let's think of a household. Everybody knows happy wife, happy life, right? So if you have a home, who rules that home? The woman or the man? If you ask me, my opinion, the woman does. Now, the man, yes, is the leader. And yes, the man, when he puts his foot down, his word is law. But that is only with the permission of a woman. So it's a weird dynamic, right? Because on one hand, you'll say, well, a man's supposed to be the leader. Instinctively, that's his role. He's supposed to be a leader. He's supposed to be the provider and protector. And yes, I'd say you're correct. But that does not take anything away. As a matter of fact, it adds to the woman's role. Because a woman, not only is she the goddess of the universe, the queen of everything, Mother Nature, everything, the life bringer, the nurturer, the ultimate nurturer you could ever possibly think about, right? But she also has to allow you to lead in order for you to be able to do so. Because if she's not allowing you to lead and you're still trying to lead, you just look like a fool, right? So it's better served, we are better served as men, as kings, as more of a soldierly role. And what do I mean by that is, let's use this metaphor, this analogy, right? Let's say you got a queen and a king. The queen sits on the throne and dictates the land, and I enforce her laws. Behind closed doors, I'm the one giving her the guidance. That's the way it should be. Now you'll have the misogynist, the sexist, the controlling, insecure guys that'll say, oh, well, I ain't following around no woman, this, that, and the third. Well, queens, there you go. Those are the guys you avoid. We have to stop thinking of this thing as this one-track minded, either a woman leads or a man leads thing, or one wears the pants or one other one wears the pants. Why? You have to understand we are directly connected to everything of this Western thinking, this American way of thinking. We complain about this society and the way of thinking in this country, but yet it's the little things we follow that make up our brainwashing. The way, like, it's just the way we think about relationships. Everything is wrong. It's wrong. If we're gonna really break it down, all of us, men or female, we're all sexist in a way, we're all misogynistic in a way, we're all wrong. We communicate wrong, everything's wrong. The fact of the matter is that women should rule. That does not mean that a man should not be a leader. Now you may be confused and say, well, how the hell am I gonna be a leader and follow a woman? What? How does that work? Expand your mind, man. Expand your mind. Get out of that box that you in. Get out of it. Break it down, right? On one day, that woman might need you to lead. So that day, you might be the forefront. You might be dictating the rules of that day. You might be the one making the decisions of that day. But what happens the next day when she maybe is having a better day at leadership? What I'm saying is you have to use this thing as a partnership and a team aspect in that family, in your family, in order for this thing to work. We are too busy thinking of, oh, well, I'm the man, I'm gonna lead all the time, or I'm the woman, I'm gonna lead all the time. It is a teamwork. There is no one way. And I'm a man that thinks my woman should be a housewife. But guess what? That does not mean that I'm going to end up with somebody that ends up being a housewife. That is simply just my opinion. It does not mean that I'm going to end up with somebody that is going to be a housewife. The woman I marry might be somebody that, I don't know, wants to do something, you know, might have a passion, might want to be a doctor, a lawyer, or something. I don't know. But my job is to support her in whatever she decides to do. Now, that does not mean also that I cannot be a provider and protector. I can still pay all the bills. I can still do all of that. And she can still go to work. Again, we have to get off of this one-track mind, this narrow way of thinking. Till this day, every woman I speak to thinks that a man being a provider and protector means she can't work, or she has to be a housewife. That has nothing to do with that. It simply means that, hey, I'm built like this. I'm a man. Look, you see all this? I'm built like this. I'm built to get out here and get messed up and work like crazy and do all this crazy stuff to make the money. That way I can bring it back home and take care of what needs to get taken care of. Whatever you decide to do with your time after that, it's up to you. That ain't got nothing to do with me. And that's what we're getting messed up at. A woman can do whatever she wants to do. See, you're too busy coming in contact with controlling enforcer type men. Oh, what do I mean by enforcer type men? I'm talking about the type of man that he'll tell you he likes to be a provider and protector, but his intention is to have control over you. Sound familiar? Yeah, it'll start out as him having all the greatest intentions and him doing all the right things. But next thing you know, he's changing the stuff you wear, where you can go, who you with, things like that. Message, those are the guys you stay away from. A man, a real one, does the things he does by being a provider protector just because. There is no reason. There is no second agenda. I simply want to provide a comfortable lifestyle for my family. That is enough. That's enough. Men are workhorses. We're workhorses. That's it. Women have the most important role in life. There's nothing bigger than somebody that can bring life into the world. I know we like to underestimate and not put too much value on that for some odd reason, but that's the most important role you can have. Anybody that can bring life into the world, that literally a human comes out of you, you win. So yes, women should lead the country as far as congressionally in this country, in this society, and all of that. And everything should be optional in the relationship. There shouldn't just be one person wearing the pants all the time, because sometimes I may be having a bad day. And any women that's gonna reply to this video with, oh, well, a man should do this, a man should do that, you don't deserve love. Because you're too afraid to acknowledge the fact that this is a 50-50 thing. Don't use the excuse of being old-fashioned, because that has nothing to do with nothing. Because even in the time 50s, 60s, 70s, right? Yes, you had more of men just going to work and women staying at home, right? Right? But that does not mean that the woman wasn't in a leadership role. Every man knows it doesn't matter if you paid a mortgage, it doesn't matter if you paid for the house, that's that woman's house. That's my wife's house. Yes, it's our home, but the woman rules that house. Again, it's a weird dynamic. It's a crazy dynamic because I'm going to say it again. On one hand, the man is the leader. But on another hand, so is the woman. One day I may have a bad idea and you may have a better one. The other day you may have a bad idea and I have a better one. When we use this thing as teamwork, it works out a lot better than a damn dictatorship that most of you are in. Just know that there's a difference in an enforcer type of man and an actual provider and protector. There's a big difference. They're not the same. If you come across a man that on one hand he seems to say that he's a provider protector, he's old-fashioned, and he believes in opening doors and pulling out chairs and buying flowers and all that stuff. And yeah, for the first couple weeks that was great, he was doing all of that, but then next thing you know, it turns into him more piloting you. That's not the one you marry. Me, for example, I'm a very dominant, aggressive guy. Very much so. Very much so a leader. But I understand that on any given day, at any given time, I may have a bad idea that can lead me and my family down the wrong road. So being open to my woman's ideas benefits me. This ideology of, oh, we're just gonna go wherever I take us, is stupid. It's the dumbest thing you can do. Maximize your chances at success. See, a lot of the weaker-minded women, they just want to sit back and relax while a man just leads y'all wherever. And any smart person should know where that goes. Yes, that could work too, though. Because you could be loyal to that man until maybe one day he makes a good decision and y'all just happen to, I don't know, something good happens out of that. But why not maximize your chances and both of y'all be more of a power couple and bounce ideas off of each other? Again, I am a man that believes my woman should be a housewife, but that does not mean that I will end up with a housewife. You have to open your mind and live outside of that box. Don't be so ignorant and egotistical and prideful to just think that your way of thinking is just it. Because you're wrong. And life will show you that if you keep on down that path. Alright? Keep the faith, stay strong. I'm gone.
Back up, back up, back up, back up. Back up, back up, back up, back up. Back up, back up, back up, back up. Back up, back up, back up, back up.